All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Baseball Diaries. So important thing that hasn't been listed on the news and notes: the Phillies announced today that Taijuan Walker will no longer start any more games. We finally won.
Finally,
It took forever. I mean, we were 0-9 in his last 9 starts, so you would think that would be enough. You would have thought that 5 would have been enough.
I mean, literally yesterday I bet against him, and I bet the over solely because I thought the Astros would score more than 10 against Taijuan Walker, and lo and behold, they did.
Yeah. Shocker.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I
mean, Jordan hit 3 fucking dongs.
Yeah. And they were all very different home runs. So.
Yeah.
Taijuan Meatball is no longer going to be on the mound. Thank God.
Well, not starting.
If he comes out of the bullpen in a game we're leading 10-0, I'm going to ask for someone to be.
Your lawyer has advised you to not answer that.
You can interpret that with what you will.
Your lawyer has advised you to plead the fifth on that one.
If you're my lawyer, we're fucked anyway.
I'm a good lawyer, man. I'm a really good lawyer.
I know you're a good lawyer, but at the same time, you and me in the same courtroom representing each other, that wouldn't go well.
That's probably true. There's a bit of a conflict of interest, and then not only that, but if they're like, oh, well, now you just made all of your text message thread discoverable because that's not attorney-client privilege, that's you guys as friends, and we're like, fuck, you're right.
And we'd have to produce them.
I'm going to prison. We're going to prison. Like,
solely based off what we sent each other today, yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably going to grippy sock jail. I don't think I said anything criminal today.
I mean, I didn't necessarily say anything criminal. I shouldn't even preface that with necessarily. I didn't say anything explicitly criminal.
Yeah.
I mean, so
to be fair, it was threats against each other. So,
and clearly they're not true threats.
Yes,
because clearly. We're here.
We do this podcast twice a fucking week.
Yeah. After that, we have Danny Jansen. This one's really cool.
Yeah.
Strange, but cool.
Being
the first player in history to play for opposing teams in the same game. Obviously, it was a rescheduled game from when he was on the Blue Jays, and then he was pinch hit for by Dalton Varsho? I think it was Dalton Varsho.
I don't remember.
And he caught the at-bat that he was supposed to be taking, which is cool.
Oh, yeah, that's what because I was trying to explain it to my dad the other day. So, and that's what I forgot, is that he was pinch hit for. So technically, he caught his own at-bat. Forgot about that.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
Yep. So after that, Chris Paddock is looking to come back in early October. I mean,
yeah, I was like,
I mean that is good news for the Twins. You're also like, I mean, it's news.
Yeah.
Does it really move the needle? Because I don't even think he's their 3 guy.
No, it's so weird because Chris Paddock's downfall should be studied again. Because when he was coming up and looked like he was going to be a quality frontline guy. I mean, in 2019, he had a 3.33 ERA with 140 innings pitched. And then every year since then has sucked. I mean, been brutal. And I believe his minor leagues were pretty dominant, if I'm not mistaken. Holy shit. Yeah, his minor leagues in 2018, 2.10, 2016, 0.85 in 42 and a third innings pitched. So I remember him coming up and I was like, oh, this guy's going to be a dog. And then
he just wasn't.
Yeah.
Speaking of pitchers, this wasn't on the news and notes because, I mean, why would the Angels be on the news and notes?
No.
But, so we traded 2 pitchers to them for Carlos Estevez, and Estevez has been good for us. It's not like he's been, he's been employed in so many situations where it's like, oh, we absolutely need you to strike out the side here. It's been like, he's getting saves here and there, blah, blah, blah. They have already promoted, George Clausen has been terrible since going to the Angels organization, which is likely thing for them to do. I mean, like, his Ks to walks ratio is awful compared to what it was. Like, with the Phillies organization, he had, I think, 89 Ks to 12 walks. And with the Angels, I think it's 23 to 18.
That's not.
Yeah. and it's in like we're talking like 59 innings pitched through high A and double A, and with the Angels it's been exclusively double A, and he's just not. I mean, yeah, it's not the same quality of a farm system, not even close.
No.
But they've already rushed the other prospect, Samuel Adelgary.
Likely thing for the Angels to do.
Dude, he got called up to the majors today.
I remember that. Yeah. Yep.
And I'm like, look, I'm super happy for him, but he has a 5.91 in your system.
Likely thing for the Angels to do.
And so it's like, well, okay, so we're just going to ruin another pitcher, whatever. Screw it. Whatever.
That's what they do.
Likely thing for the Angels to do. So the Angels are still a joke. Good for them.
Still on the not list. They've been on the not list since like 20. They've been on the not list forever. Like they've just forever been on the not list.
This next one's fun. J-Rod hit his first homer since July yesterday, and of course it was when the Tyler bet against the Mariners. Oh, come on, that's funny.
That was fun. I'm not gonna lie, but that's just like, come on. I had a fucking parlay with, it was the over on the Astros
the
Phillies
game. Yeah.
The Astros to win, and then I had the fucking Rays, who had a guy starting that had like a 2.5 ERA versus the Mariners lineup, and I was like,
and the Mariners tattooed him
they
for
scored
no
6
reason.
Fucking runs. Like they've scored 6 runs probably like 5 times this entire season.
Yeah.
One of those games is because I bet against them.
And the Cardinals won today
because I bet against them. When they're playing the fucking Padres, who've been on a fucking tear since the All-Star break, and the Cardinals have sucked ass since the All-Star break.
They have. So, just hilarious because you're looking like you're gonna have a golden sombrero this week,
which is crazy because easily when it comes to sports betting, the only sport I am positive on is definitely baseball, and it's not even frankly fucking close. Like I've had to get taxed from my winnings on gambling baseball. That's how much I've won. Like, it's not like I'm making a living doing it, which I maybe should. If I hit a really big case as an attorney and I get like some giant check, you might be looking at Tyler the professional gambler. Just solely betting on baseball, because other sports I get fucking canned on other sports. Well, I do okay in UFC as well. UFC I do all right. But football, no. Don't fucking no.
Yeah.
Basketball, not even. Don't even. I'm gonna lose every single bet I put in. Anyways.
Okay. So after that, aside from Tyler's unfortunate gambling habits,
I just found this out. I know how I can break Judge's on base record let's break it first. Judge is on pace to break his own record with 62 home runs to 63 home runs. I know how I can break that.
How?
I put a bet on Judge to not break it. Or to break it. Break it. If I put a bet on him to break that record, he goes down with an injury tomorrow.
This is like me with the hot list for a while.
Mm-hmm. Which is why you've been granted. Wait, who was your hot last week?
James Wood.
He's still alive. You're granted another one. Do you want
Wood again?
No, you get to pick 2 now.
Yeah. Well, I have one, but I'm concerned. He hit a home run today, but I don't want to see him get hurt because he's also a kamikaze out there.
PCA?
No, not him.
Oh.
Different center fielder. Young rookie center fielder.
Oh.
I don't want to do it, but he's scorching. And he's also on my fantasy team. So if it does hurt me, it hurts me twice. Yes.
Oh, no.
I don't want to do it.
I think he was on my hot list last week, so you don't have to do him.
Okay, all right. We're good then.
You can pick somebody else. Pick somebody else. It's okay.
I will pick somebody else.
Good idea. I'd say still pick 2 players that are on not relative, like the A's, the Angels, the White Sox.
Oh, I got one for the A's.
Okay, cool. Good. All right.
After that, Dylan Cruz made his MLB debut and
homered.
He homered from the leadoff spot for the Nats, which means he's absolutely going to end up torturing the Phillies for the next 6 years before he's traded to a contender.
The fucking Angels or the Nationals might be a fucking contender soon.
Well, you'd have to consider their ownership group having a brain.
I mean, they got James Wood, Dylan Cruz, and C.J. Abrams are all looking good as young prospects.
Yes.
They could build a core around that very
They
easily.
They could if they're smart.
And I think they did it for a while with Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, and Juan Soto.
I mean, if that works out for them, good for them. I don't want it to work out for them, though.
I know you don't, because they're in your division.
Yes. Rhett Lauder is going to make his debut tomorrow, like MLB debut.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good for him.
No, his Double-A debut. Of course, his MLB debut.
I was just making sure. I didn't think he was going to get called up this quickly.
No, he got called up very quickly, which wasn't. I should be more on this than I am, but
I mean, the thing is, he was one of the pitching prospects I was a little more high on than like Dollander or any of them, because I liked his pitch mix a lot better than the other guys in the draft this year.
Yeah, he was. I was going to say, I thought he was drafted this year, and that
he was.
Wow.
And I really like his pitch mix.
He was drafted last year, actually.
So we'll see what happens with Rhett Lauder, but I think he'll actually be good. The question is, was he brought up too soon? And I mean, who's to say?
I'm looking at his minor league numbers, and man, it's hard to say.
You just said that about Chris Paddock too.
Yeah, it's hard to say because his Double-A numbers aren't great. Single-A numbers are stellar, and his Triple-A numbers are stellar, but he only has 6 innings pitched in Triple-A. So
the Reds a little bit angeled here and might have aggressively sent him up, but I mean, it could work out. Who knows?
We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm hoping for the best.
Yes.
Well, kind of, even though he's in my division.
Yes. But good, regardless, good for Rhett Lauder. After that, the Tigers are only 4.5 out of the wild card spot. Our pick doesn't look completely insane yet.
It's not dead.
It's not dead. Are they going to win the division?
No.
No shot in hell. Are they going to make the playoffs? They
might.
They might.
Look, man. And if they make the playoffs, our pick for them winning the division doesn't look terrible.
It doesn't look terrible.
And you know what?
It doesn't look good.
You know what pisses me off about that? The fact that they traded away Jack Flaherty. And, could you imagine them going into a playoff wild card series? Tarek Skubal, Jack Flaherty?
That would be insane.
Oh, my God. Just fucking go home. Just go home.
Especially if they host it.
Yeah. Well, and even if they don't host it, okay, you have to face this year's Cy Young winner in Tarek Skubal. And if he would have stayed in the American League, the runner-up for Cy Young in the American League.
Yes.
And that's your 1 and 2. And also the Tigers have a disgusting fucking bullpen. So just good night. Just fucking good afternoon.
It up, buddy.
Yeah, just go home. I don't care who they're fucking playing. I don't care if it's the Orioles they're playing. Sorry, you just faced 2 of the best pitchers in the American League. And then one of the best bullpens in the American. One of the best, if not the best bullpen in the American League. You're lucky to score 3 runs. And then also, if Riley Green kept it going, Kerry Carpenter kept having this sneaky good season, fuck. They could be a dangerous team.
Having one of the most, underappreciated seasons.
He is. It's scary, underrated.
It is.
I mean, I remember because we were I was like, Kerry Carpenter's been terrible.
Is he hot
and then we were like, oh, fuck. Actually,
he's scorching.
Yeah. We were like, shit. All right. The guy's got a 1 dot. He's got a 932 OPS right now.
Which is that. He's basically elite.
Yeah. And we were just Kerry Carpenter's been scuffling. And then we look and we're like, oh, actually, no. We're an idiot. Yeah, he's 1-dotting it over the last month, too.
What a guy.
Yeah. And who's to say they don't bring up Torkelson and he finally figured out how to play baseball again?
That would be something.
It'll
be something.
If they make the playoffs and they beat whatever team they play in the wild card series, I'm going to be so pissed because then it's they had a good because that team with Jack Flaherty still on the team and everybody actually on their team clicking like they're supposed to.
Yeah.
I put that team up with any team in the American League, honestly.
No, I would too.
They're definitely not the favorite, but they could go on a Diamondbacks run last year.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah. So, sorry, off tangent rant like usual.
It's standard stuff.
Well, it was the reason I did it is because we both picked the Tigers to win the division, and we looked like fucking morons, like as of like a month ago.
But it looks a lot better now.
Yeah, it looks better now. We don't look like morons as much.
Yes. Which is something that we do way too often.
Yeah, quite often.
The Stros signed Jason Hayward, and you know what? I'm okay with that because I actively predicted him to end up signing with the Braves for some reason.
Yep.
I was like, it would just make an uncomfortable amount of sense.
It would. And then for some reason he'd have a 900 OPS with the Braves. And now he's going to have a 900 OPS with the Astros because that's just what they do.
Yeah. And then last news and note, Jordan Hicks and Robbie Ray both ended up on the 15-day IL. I was stunned to learn that Robbie Ray wasn't on the 60 already.
Well, he came back for like 3 days and then proceeded to hit the 15-day IL.
Which likely thing for Robbie Ray.
I gotta say, the Giants gotta... Dude, I forget like all the injuries they have, and I'm like, man, if they didn't have all those injuries, they'd have a scary good rotation.
They would.
If they had Logan Webb, Robbie Ray, Blake Snell, that's a scary good rotation.
Yeah.
I mean...
But here they are.
Yep, here they are.
Okay. With that, you know what? I'll jump into the Phillies right now. They just took 2 of 3 from the Astros. Great. And they didn't get no hit yesterday. They almost did.
By Spencer Arrighetti.
Yes. Alec Boehm looked like he tweaked something and just went down the tunnel. I hope he's okay. It didn't look like serious, but like...
he just needed another Zin. Come on.
I hope so.
He was on the field and he was like,
dude, I need one.
And he's like, you know what? Hamstring. Give me a Zin.
Yeah.
I'll be in next inning.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope he's all right. He's scuffling a little bit, but he's still fine. So it's not like he's costing us anything. Like Whit Merrifield, who is somehow hitting 313 with the Braves.
He's got over a 900 OPS with the Braves.
And he's talking about it in post-game interviews. He's like, oh yeah, they didn't believe in me. It's like, dude, you were hitting sub 200. No one would have believed you.
And he's just like, you know what? Fuck it. Like that. I gotta say, if Whit Merrifield, let's say, this is gonna kill you. You're not gonna like this at all.
I know exactly where you're going.
Let's say the Braves just go on a fucking tear in the playoffs, and like Whit Merrifield's NLCS MVP and World Series MVP.
I'd lose it. I think I'd fully lose it. I'd be like, "There's no way."
We would lose Brendan. There's no I'd have to call him the next day and be like, "Hey, bud, you okay?"
You okay?
He's gonna be pissed drunk with he's gonna be pissed drunk talking babbling nonsense, and I might have to drive up to Virginia or Pennsylvania, wherever the fuck he is, and just talk him off a ledge. It's okay, buddy. I know you guys got
Ben Franklin.
I'm gonna be like, it's okay. It was just Whit Merrifield. I know he's a Brave. I know. Like,
and then the Cardinals will sign him next year, and you'll get to experience it.
And then he'll be the worst player on planet Earth.
Yes,
literally the worst. And we'll extend him to like a 10-year deal or some stupid shit.
Yes. And now the Phillies are in a 4-game set against the Braves. Pitching matchups are actually pretty even across the board here.
No Taiwan.
Thank God. I mean, that's why we pushed to start to the Astros. We were like, hey, you're pitching against the Astros, not the Braves. So I'm glad that's happening. Yeah, Bohm is back. He definitely did just need another Zen. Yeah, so Bohm's out in the field. He'll be fine. I mean, honestly, with this series, I'd be fine with a split. Obviously, I'd love 3 out of 4. I'd love a sweep even more. Do I think it's going to happen? No, not likely.
And I'm just going to play devil's advocate a bit because it's a 4-game series, correct?
Yeah.
Sweep the other way. This division looks scary.
Oh, the division is terrifying if that happens.
Yeah, because they're only 5 games back.
Yeah, they're only 5 games back.
So, and even 3, if the Braves took 3 out of 4, I'm not feeling as great.
I'd be significantly more worried.
Yes.
Like if we don't come away with a split, I'm very concerned.
Yes.
If we come away with a split or 3 out of 4, fine.
Fine. Yep.
If you lose 3, if you lose all 4,
because there's still
what the hell were you thinking?
Because there's still a month left of baseball.
There is,
and with a month left, 5 games is not unbeatable.
It's not enough.
No, it's not. Which if I'm the Phillies, I'm that month of July where month of July/August where everybody just forgot how to play baseball is now concerning. Like, it doesn't matter that you started off that crazy ass hot streak. It's now like, okay, you also got to remember the Braves are still a good team, and they keep finding a way to win games. When at this point, I can like this.
They
There's
look
not
like
a
the
star.
White Sox. Like
There's not a star
their
on their
lineup
team.
looks like the White Sox.
They literally have Chris Sale. That's about it. Like, everyone else is hurt.
That's
like,
Chris Sale,
everybody.
Max Fried, and like Schwellenbach, who's actually pitched very
He's been
well.
very
well.
well.
I will not hate on
He's been
Schwellenbach.
really good.
Schwellenbach is a very good pitcher, and I hate that.
He's just another one of the Braves' fucking system that, like, you've never heard of this pitcher before? Well, guess what? Get ready to. Like,
you're gonna learn Schwellenbach, buddy.
Yeah. And then guess what? Next year he might be out for the season. We're gonna be like, wait, where did he come from? Where did he go? And they're like, well, elbow injury again.
Yeah,
and then
like,
other random. Then it's gonna be some other random pitcher that we've never fucking heard of, and we're like, who the fuck is this guy? And they're like, oh, really? Get ready to learn
whoever the fuck
Zimbabwe. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. I guess this guy's the best pitcher in baseball now.
Yes, that is a likely thing for them to do. I think that's it on the Phillies. I mean, like, it could get scary. I hope it doesn't, but it could. With that, this feels like a coping mechanism at this point.
Well, with that, just because the Phillies played the Astros, I'm going to get into the Astros quick.
Okay, that's fair.
They played each other. So yeah, the Astros are still 3.5 up in the division, so I'm not worried at all because unless they keep betting against the Mariners.
The second team in your division is the Mariners, it's not the Braves.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, whatever. 3.5 games, fine. I don't really care. Especially because their frontline starters have figured it the fuck out. Like, Hunter Brown, been dominant. Framber, been dominant. Spencer Arrighetti, who I'd never heard of before this year. Well, actually, that's not true. I'd heard of him, but not enough. Been dominant. Yosei Kikuchi, dominant. So I'm like, okay, finally. And what was crazy, I thought this was dumb on the team aspect of things. They were talking about in the playoffs, one of those 4 guys is going to have to take a back seat to Justin Verlander. And I was like, why? Like, why? No. Like,
name alone?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's the smart move. I mean, I love Justin Verlander was my idol watching as like, literally, he was my favorite pitcher growing up. I loved watching Justin Verlander. Like, his starts when he was in his prime, oh my god, it was like watching. He's the last, like, one of the last generational pitchers that I've seen. Like, so seeing him now, it just kind of sucks. It's like, clearly, Father Time has finally gotten to him.
Well, I mean, his fastball against the Phillies, it was 92 to 91,
which he doesn't know what the fuck 92 is. He's never thrown 92. Like, he was a freshman in high school when he was throwing 92, probably. Like, yeah. So I do find it funny on his MLB page. They have brother of Ben Verlander on there.
Yeah.
That it should also say father-in-law brother-in-law of Shohei Ohtani, if it's gonna have that there.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, random strays, Ben. You didn't deserve that. He gets it enough. Anyways, yeah, Verlander. Last 7 games, 4.78 ERA. Last 15 games, 4.16. It's like, so why are we just gonna shoehorn him into a solid frontline 4 that's been doing really well? Like, since the All-Star break, all of them have been really well. So, sorry, Justin. Like, you might need to be more of a pitching coach this playoff spot.
Yeah, like, he might have to be.
Like, and that sucks because I loved watching him. But if I'm the manager of the team, time to have a hard conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like it's encouraging to see that their frontline 4, because that was their main issue, was their starting pitching and their relief pitching was just bad. Like, just
did you know
really
Kyle
bad.
Tucker's been out for 3 months at this point?
Someone he needs to be on a milk carton at this point. Like, in fact, we look it up, I think, every fucking episode, but I'm gonna do it again. Astros could shoot themselves in the foot with Kyle Tucker's return from injury? Fucking how? You're telling me adding one of the best players in baseball? Not the right move. Okay. Okay. When is he coming back? Okay. First week of September. That's what it says here. Okay. So we got an update. First week of September is what they're shooting for.
What is scheduled for?
Which I think they were also shooting for like first week of June when it originally happened.
They were.
Like, I don't know what happened.
Because we were talking about it before the All-Star break.
And we were talking about it before the All-Star break, and we were like, he'll probably be back in a week or two. And then it's like three fucking months later.
Hidden blood condition that we didn't know about?
I have no idea.
Because that would make sense.
I have no, I genuinely cannot, figure out how it took him this long to come back.
Yeah, I would be thrilled to know what the reasoning was.
Especially when it was like, it would be one thing if it was like, okay, the Astros had the division by like 35 games, and it was like, okay, he can take his sweet ass time coming back. Who cares? We don't really need him. Up until recently, the panic button has been on for the Astros. And they finally took it off, but it only came off, a month ago?
Roughly, yeah.
Honestly, I don't think I took the panic button off before the bar.
I don't think you did either.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think it was the first week after the bar.
I think it was right after the bar, which I think I could have taken it off during that bar prep period. But it was like we were not recording that often because, we had other important things to do.
Speaking of, I'm going to go eat. So you keep ripping this.
I'll keep ripping this. Back. All right. So now to get into the Cardinals. The Cardinals, we just split the series with the Padres by winning today, which is absolutely hysterical because I bet on the Padres to win today because I have zero faith in the Cardinals. That spit right back in my face. The one thing that I am getting encouraged by is that the fans are finally listening. They're not showing up to the games. I'm going to pull up some statistics of what I saw of fan base attendance, and it's great. I'm so happy that Cardinals fans are finally fed up with the ownership shit that's been going on. They were giving away free tickets at yesterday's game, and I'm sure they're doing the same thing for today's game. Or did the same thing for today's game because today's game is over. The Cardinals won. They won 3-4. Of course they did because I'm sorry, 4-1. The day before they won 3-4. And Sonny Gray did have a nice outing, which God did he need it. He was above a 4 ERA before today, so that wasn't great. He pitched 6 innings pitched, no walks, 1 earned run, so that's a no walker. But he's not going on the no walks list. That's just the 1 earned run with 6 innings pitched, not giving it to him. Also, the Cardinals placed Tommy Pham on waivers. What you do with that information is what you will. But let's see. I was texting it to my dad, so I'll look at those messages really quick. Oh, also sad news for Cardinals fans in all of St. Louis. Ted Drews passed away at 96 yesterday. Ted Drews, everyone knows Ted Drews custard. Everyone in St. Louis area knows Ted Drews custard or frozen yogurt. Or is it custard or frozen yogurt? Frozen custard. I was mixing them. I knew it was something like that. Yeah. Ted Drew's frozen custard. And I said, and that's kind of disrespectful to him in general because the dude was a St. Louis icon. I just have not been back to St. Louis in like almost 8 years. So, yeah, sad news for that. Back to the Cardinals. They were giving away multiple free tickets. They announced this was on Tuesday. They had an attendance of 27,224 tickets sold, a new low for the season. And I believe they beat that again recently. And it's making me so happy because finally fans are starting to realize that we cannot continue to show up for the game and continue to support this shit product that they keep putting on the field. Okay, how did I find like 100 of these within like 30 seconds? And now I try and find it again, and it's like, it's missing. Probably because I sent it to 15 different places, because every time I see the Cardinals doing things like that, I'm like, yay. I need everybody to know that the Cardinals fans are finally starting to not show up to the games. So yeah, anyways, whatever, I'll just leave it at that. They've been setting new record low attendances. That's all you got to know, which is amazing because, yeah. If ownership group, you want the fans to show up, you put a good product on the field. I said it before. When you're selling a product, which when you're the ownership of a baseball team, your product is the baseball team. If you're putting a bad product out there, no one buys the product. People don't buy the product knowing it's shit. So, continue to buy the product, hoping that it turns to not shit. It's not how that works. You got to put a good product out there for you to get the return on the investment. That's how that goes. So glad to see Cardinals fans are finally starting to figure that out. After that, we got the Orioles. The Orioles are 1-1 with 1-1 in the series with the Dodgers right now, which is a good preview series. Good for them to see another good team and continue to face good talent, because that's what they're going to see coming in the playoffs. It's already pretty much a foregone conclusion that they're making the playoffs, whether it's as a wild card team or winning the NL East. They're one game back of the Yankees in the NL East currently. And they're 1-1. Like I said, they're 1-1 with the Dodgers right now in the series. And tonight it's Cade Povich versus Bobby Miller, two young pitchers who were trying to figure it out at the big league level. It looked like Bobby Miller had it figured out last year and looked like he was going to have a breakout season this year, and really has not. I mean, he currently has which he was coming off injury, to be fair, a 7.49 ERA. So that's not great. And then Cade Povich also has a 6.10 ERA. So two young guys that are just trying to figure it out. I mean, and Cade Povich, even if you look at his last 7, hasn't been great. His last 2 outings haven't been... Oh, no, his last outing was bad. His last 2 outings before that weren't terrible, but they were also versus the Red Sox and the Blue Jays, who Red Sox have been scuffling. The Blue Jays minus Vlad Jr. You're probably all right. So yeah, that series is going to be... I mean, tonight that series will play out and see who takes the series. Unfortunately, our boy Gunnarsson Henderson. Wow. Gunnar Henderson has been scuffling a bit again. Which scuffling is so funny to say when we're talking about him, because we're still talking about probably over a 900 OPS. Oh, no. Over his last 7 games, his batting 148 with a 179 on-base percentage and a 185 slug. So that is a full-on slump. And then last 15 games, 193, 281 with a 421 OPS, or with a 421 slug. So that gives him a 702 OPS for the last 15 games. So that's not great. Not great at all. And even his last 30 games, 265, 788 OPS. So he's struggling. And unfortunately with the Orioles, when Gunnar and Adley go, the team goes. And without them going, it's going to be tough for them to win the division. Because also Adley has been. I mean, honestly, he's not having the greatest year in general overall. He is hitting. Hold, please. Pulling things up. Sorry, this was kind of unplanned. We didn't know that he was going to have dinner at 7 until like 20 seconds before this podcast started. Yeah, so Adley this season has a 742 OPS over his last 7 games, 231, 300, 269, so a 569 OPS. Over his last 15, we got 250, 281, 385. So, again, a 6-something OPS. So with those two scuffling hard, it's getting to a point now where they've got to turn it around. They have to turn it around right now because without those two going, they don't make a deep playoff run. They don't. They just simply don't have they have a deep team, but they're the frontline guys. They're the guys that are circled in the lineup every week. And without them needing to be circled, that team gets very shallow very quickly because then you're circling an Anthony Santander who has been having a great season. Santander has been having a fantastic season. But when you don't have the other guys performing, his season takes a step back as well. And I believe he has also struggled in his last little while. Yes, I was right there. His last 30 games, Santander started, up until his last 30 games was having a career season. But his last 30 games, he's got a 200 batting average, 295 on-base percentage, and a 470 slug. So that's going to be good for a 6-something OPS. You can't have that from all of your offense. Their offense overall, all their support players are good baseball players. But without their big thumpers, that lineup gets manageable. I won't say light, but very manageable. To the point where good pitching is going to knock that team out of the playoffs. And I know there's not a lot of good teams making the playoffs with good pitching, but if they don't have Adley, Gunnar, and Santander thumping the ball around, they're just not as threatening. Sorry to say it, that's not a scary team without them. Those three, especially because the starting rotation, even Corbin Burns is scuffling. So they need to figure it out quick because it's almost a month out from playoffs, and if they head into the playoffs scuffling like they are, I'm sorry, but it's probably going to be a quick exit for them. It just is. And we have Brendan back.
We're currently being no hit.
Nice. Again. So I was just talking about how the Orioles right now, Adley, Gunnar, and Santander are pretty much non-existent right now, and they need those three specifically need to turn it the fuck around. And the rotation, including Corbin Burns, needs to turn it the fuck around because right now we're a month out from playoffs. And if they head into the playoffs looking like they're looking right now, it's probably going to be a first-round exit.
Yeah, it might be. And, okay, so I don't know to what lengths you've gone into this. It seems like it does seem like the lack of maturity in totality does hurt that team a little bit.
I agree, because when you get into lulls like this, where you get to the dog days of which is what we're in right now. We're in the dog days right now. Who are you looking at?
Who are you looking at?
Santander, Cedric Mullins, but those guys aren't the guys that we rally around that guy. It's like
you might rally around Santander right now because he's having a season from
Well, he is, but I just pulled up his numbers, dude. His last 30 games is terrible.
Yeah.
He's hitting 200 with a 295 on base percentage and a 470 slug.
Yeah, he hasn't been the guy. And it's not like you expect him to be the guy.
He wasn't. The guys you were expecting were Gunnar and Adley.
Yes.
And unfortunately,
and that's why they were drafted. But the thing is, they're not veterans.
No. This is the time when you need the crafty veteran that's gonna rah the guys, say, look, this is the dog days, but these games still count. We still we gotta manage it. We gotta
and that's what the Phillies are not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but they have a good mix of veterans and young guys.
They do,
which makes you more confident in coming out of a stretch like that than anything else.
Because if you look at the Phillies,
aren't even that bad. They just beat the Dodgers in back-to-back games.
No, they didn't. But they're 1-1 with the Dodgers.
Oh, I thought it was 2-0. Might be. And Bohm's been removed from the game. Awesome, great. He didn't just need his in. That might just be precautionary, honestly.
Could be, yeah.
But it's who are you turning to? James McCann?
Yeah, and it's not James McCann's not really
it's not the guy I'm going to hang my hat on.
No, exactly. And right now would be a really good time for a guy like a Bryce Harper, which I'm not saying they obviously could have gotten a Bryce Harper, but I'm saying a veteran presence where it's they've been through this before. They know what a full 162 game season's like. They know that we're starting to get banged up. It's starting to get exhausting just going to the field every day. but they also know the sweetness of going to the playoffs and what it's like to win a playoff series. I mean,
Yeah.
Harper himself does not know what it's like to win a World Series yet, but that could happen.
Correct. And it's like, it's just, like, are the tools there for them to be successful? Sure. But are all of them there? I think they're lacking in one or two key departments for me to say,
I agree.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, we've already said their starting pitching staff is crazy question marks. I mean, and even Burns has been a question mark, which he was the guy where it was like, oh, who do we pencil in for a win every 5 days? It was Corbin Burns.
And now it's not that.
Exactly. So now it's like, oh, man, I don't know what they need to do to turn it around. I really don't. But they got to do something. Like, right now is, if they head into a playoff series right now, I'm calling first round exit.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Because they're just not, they're looking bad.
They are.
All right. Well, with that, you can go into the Mariners. I forgot about them.
Who doesn't forget about the damn Mariners?
I mean, their pitching staff's fun.
Their pitching staff is the only thing you choose to watch.
Yeah, that's true.
Not the offense. So the Mariners, swept. No, didn't sweep. Took 2 out of 3 against the Rays. They scored 5 runs in Game 1 and 6 runs in Game 3. And lo and behold, they scored 2 runs in Game 2.
Yeah.
It's
because I didn't bet on them.
Mariners stuff. Very, very, almost painfully typical Mariners stuff. That was actually Logan Gilbert in game number 2. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 10 Ks.
Hey, hold up. Then we're going to restart that.
I know. Okay, but that's, if that's a no walker, I'm just saying your bullpen gave up 3 in the following 2 innings.
Yeah.
He should be allowed to bitch slap everyone in that locker.
Logan Gilbert, like, the season he's had this year, what is his record? Because I know it's not as great as it should be.
It's not as good as it should be.
Let's see. Dog. Oh my God. Take a fucking guess.
His record.
Hang on. I'll give you his ERA first. He's got 27 starts. 27.
Okay.
A 3.09 ERA.
Okay, 3.09. How mad is this gonna make me? Like genuinely, how angry? Like, where would you be if you were in his shoes?
Jacob deGrom, 2021.
There's no way he's 500. Is he worse than 500? He's worse than 5. How many stars has he made?
27.
Okay, so there got to be a couple no decisions in there.
Oh, there's a lot of no decisions in there. There's a whole lot of no decisions in there. In fact, it's almost...
How many no decisions? Is it 10 no decisions? Is it 10 no decisions?
It's more than that.
He's got more than 10 no decisions in 27 starts.
Hang on, let me make sure I'm doing math right. But I'm pretty sure I'm doing the math right.
More than 10
no. Okay, no. It's exactly 10. It's exactly 10 no decisions.
Exactly. Okay, already that's insane.
Dude.
And he's got a record worse than 500. Is he 7-10?
You got it. Dog.
How is that even possible? 309?
309. And he's 7-10 with 10 no decisions. 10.
That is actually Jacob deGrom level bad.
This is his 3rd time on our no walker list. His 3rd fucking time.
I know another Mariners pitcher's on this, right?
For no walks?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it.
I believe Bryce Miller.
I thought he walked 2.
I thought he... No, Luis Castillo walked 2.
If Bryce not, I thought it was maybe it was...
Bryce Miller went today. He did not walk anyone.
Okay.
He did have 1 earned run, though.
What was it?
All right, I'll read you the stat line. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 10 Ks.
Oh, that's on there.
Okay, so
Yeah,
two
that's
Mariners pitchers.
which
They
he's
won
also
one of
been
the
on there.
starts.
They've
Who?
Bryce Miller's also a returning member.
Good for Bryce.
Dude, fucking a 3.09 ERA. I gotta see what his fucking savant is. If his expected numbers are better than his
Dude, you
his
already
actual
know they're
numbers,
going to be.
they're probably. I mean, he's got insane extension, which is wild. I mean,
Because
it's
he's
not
like
wild, but
tall as hell.
well, and then
It's
not
like,
only that, but he just has long ass arms and like gangly.
he throws like 96 on average, I think. 97, something like that.
No, his expected ERA is actually worse than his ERA, but not
Yeah,
by
but
much.
marginally.
Like it's pretty much right where it should be at. So yeah, Logan Gilbert, you should be able to commit assault on a lot of teammates.
Pretty much all of them.
Like a 3.09 ERA and a 7-10 record,
Dude, that's insane.
bro. With 10 no decisions. This is why when boomers are like, "Well, this pitcher has this many wins," I'm like, "Fuck off, fuck
He's
off
in the
with your wins."
100th percentile for extension, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That dude is throwing 97 down your throat the second it leaves his hand.
Yep.
That's terrifying.
I mean, the dude has a .90 whip this year. Like, and he has a losing record.
I got nothing
Criminal.
for him. I mean,
Like, criminal.
There's nothing you can say.
Okay, I'm doing it right now because I want to see what all like each of the starting rotation has record-wise for the.
Oh, this is going to be ugly as hell.
I'm starting with Kirby. George Kirby.
I'm also starting with Kirby.
3-4. Hang on, you don't pull it up. I'm gonna have you guess every time.
Okay, all right,
Did you have pull it up yet?
No.
Okay.
I was searching it.
3-4-8, 27 games started. Guess the record and how many no decisions.
Kirby's had a couple rough outings, so I'm gonna go 7-9 with how many starts has he made?
27.
I'm gonna go 8 no decisions for him.
So it would be, you were very, very close. It was 9-10.
9 and
He's
10.
also a losing record. A pitcher, you're like arguably your ace, and has a 3.48 ERA, which should easily be getting you a winning record.
Should.
Yeah. So he's 9-10, 27 starts with 8 no decisions. A 3.48.
So I got the no decisions correct.
Yeah, you got the no decisions. You're just off on the wins and losses, 9-10. Which,
okay.
What the fuck? Your two of your best pitchers have losing records, not because they're bad, because they're really good, and your offense is just that bad.
Yeah, that's
Let's see.
pathetic.
Now, Luis Castillo. I'm pulling him up. Oh my god, dog. 28 games started, 3.65 ERA. Go ahead.
3.65.
3.65, 28 games started.
I'm gonna give him a winning record. I'm gonna go 11-8. So hold on. Let me think about this. I'm doing
11-8
math.
would make it 19. So that would make it
28 games started.
Yeah. So that would make it 9 decisions.
9 no decisions. Yeah.
Okay. 5 no decisions. So
okay, that's all right.
That's okay. Record 11-12.
How does he have a? All right, whatever.
The 3 frontline starters have losing fucking records.
And they don't have bad ERAs.
I know. They are all sub 3.7. Okay. Bryce Miller. Okay. Dog. The Mariners offense, just DFA all of them. Fuck it. All of them. Every single one. Oh my god. Okay. 26 games started. Take a guess what the record is.
Well, I mean, if he has to have a losing record. I think the only one that has to have a winning record is probably Brian Wu at this point. Bryce Miller has 26 games started. I'm going to go 5-8. Is it worse?
No, it's actually crazily better.
He has a winning record?
What the fuck from their 4 guy?
Is he 8-5?
10-7 with 9 no decisions.
Jesus, that's still bad.
With
10-7 with 9 no decisions still
well,
isn't
especially when he's got a 3.23 ERA.
He has the best ERA.
Well, other than
no.
Gilbert.
Brian Wu has to have it, right?
And yeah, well, it's Brian Wu then Logan Gilbert.
Oh,
and I'm pulling up Wu right now because
Wu's been kind of like on and off IL, but he's been incredible. He's been incredible when he's on.
He's got 16 games played. This one, no decisions, is what makes me want to kill somebody.
I'm gonna guess that he's 16 games played. I think he's 6-2.
Perfect, got it. And 8 no decisions. 8 fucking no decisions when you have a 2.05 ERA. Half of your games are no decisions when you have a 2.05 ERA. Your top 3 guys have a losing fucking record.
Oh, 54% is enough. Castellanos would hate you.
Yeah. Yes, he would. And rightfully fucking so. Because holy shit, man. That's got to go down. Like, I want somebody to do... I know how J-Hay keeps making these videos, and I want to know...
What's the best rotation in history that
to have the worst? Well, I want to see the best rotation in history with the worst offense ever. Like, because this has got to be
Mariners team.
Like, holy fuck, man! Like, your top 3 guys have all under a 3.7. Which, if it was like, oh, like they all are like 3.5, it'd be like, that's okay. No, fucking Logan Gilbert's got a 3.0.
He's flirting with the sub 3.
Yeah, he's flirting with the sub 3 and constantly goes deep into games. All 3 of them constantly go 6-7 innings pitched. And then your 4 guy has a 3.2 ERA and barely has a winning record.
Which would make him an ace on half the teams in baseball.
It'd make him an ace on like probably 75% of the teams in baseball, honestly. And then
Brian Wu's number?
Yeah, Brian Wu is flirting with a sub fucking 2. And he's got 8 no decisions. Like, half of his games are no decisions when he's got a fucking 2 ERA. What the fuck?
That's insane. Oh my god, it's like, so feeble.
It's got, like, literally, they might be the best pitching staff to have the worst offense ever.
They genuinely might.
I might end up going on I might be going on a deep dive tonight. It might be one of my nights where I'm just like, you know what? Twitter, here I come with stupid statistics that I decided to look up because you know how I am.
Do you know how angry you're going to be in the morning? Like at work?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
You're going to be in work just furious.
And like my boss is going to come and be like, yo, are you all right? And I'm like, yeah, the fucking Mariners offense sucks ass. And he's like,
he's gonna be like, Cardinals fan? That's a random thing to just say on a Friday morning.
Friday morning, eating my breakfast tacos that he got me. Fucking Mariners off. Julio Rodriguez can't hit the fucking ball.
Dude, you know, if you started betting against them in every game, they'd probably win. They'd be the best team in baseball history.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. All right. With that, I guess we can go into their 2 no walkers, even though we've already previewed them. But they need their drum rolls. We did, but they need their drum rolls because they earned, both of them definitely earned their fucking no walkers.
Definitely earned them, yes. So we already covered the first guy who's going to be making Tyler mad tomorrow. It's Logan Gilbert.
He's making me mad tonight.
Tyler's going to text me something at like 3 a.m. my time.
Probably.
He'd be like, dude, this offense is so feeble. I'm like, yes, I've seen them attempt to play baseball. Clearly no one told them that scoring runs was important.
No.
So good for you, Logan. 6 innings pitched, 10 Ks, 4 hits, no runs. I mean, look, that in terms of... He
probably got a fucking no decision on that game. He did, didn't he?
No, he did. It was another no decision. Because the bullpen gave up all the other runs. Because I think the first guy out of the bullpen was Austin Voth. Again. And he gave up 2 runs immediately. And you know, the part of me that laughs at that is because in a normal situation there, who do you go to? You probably go to Matt Brash. You don't have Matt Brash. So who are you going with? Like, why is it Austin Voth?
Dog,
you may as well, if you're doing all of that shit, you may as well just be like, hey, Andreas, I know you just got another save in a 1-run game because we can't score for shit. However, can you do a 9-out save? Just theoretically, could you do it? Because it's like, what do you expect the manager to do? Because you already fired Cervais, and it's like, the product hasn't turned itself around.
Shocker.
Big shocker
that firing the manager didn't make the offense really good.
Yeah.
Like,
You signed the players, DePoto. This is on you.
Yep. Oh my god. Okay. After that, we have another new add to the list of say no to walks, and I don't have the stats, so you're gonna have to read them out.
I got it. Bryce Miller, welcome to Say No to Walks.
Bryce Miller, the killer.
7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run. So that's already really impressive. Two hits over 7 innings pitched, real good.
Yeah, and then 10 Ks on top of it.
10 Ks on top of it. It's like normally, like if you have a long outing and it's like, oh well, you gave up a couple earned runs.
That was today.
Like, that was today.
I'm gonna get angry, aren't I?
Well, they won 5-1, so probably not.
Okay. Hang on. I still could get angry. If it was 1-1 when he came out, I'm gonna fucking throw shit.
It was one. Yeah, you know what? It might not have been. Pepio it was only... okay, so this is a very strange box score. I have no idea how this even happened. Pepio only had 2 earned runs. And the relief pitcher, Erasmo Ramirez.
Wait, this must have been yesterday, because I don't think the Mariners played today. No, they didn't. The fuck?
Oh, yeah, it was Monday.
Oh, it was Monday. Oh.
They haven't played in a minute. Holy shit, it's Thursday.
No, they played today. Or yesterday. They played yesterday. Then why did... Oh, I guess maybe I just didn't go far enough back for the
you must have just missed it.
Sorry, I made a mistake. Hang on, I'll apologize to
God.
I gotta apologize to Bryce Miller for missing his start.
He's up to bat right now. Oh, that was a strike. That was 6 inches inside. Okay.
Oh, I thought you were saying Bryce Miller. I was like, Bryce Miller's hitting.
Myself and think of myself as a man of faith. As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run, and so that'll make it a 4-0 ball game. I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again.
Well, I definitely will be. I'll be putting it on.
He will be.
I might be doing it. I might be doing it tomorrow just to piss everybody off, or not to piss myself off.
He's going to do a solo episode.
I'm just going to do a solo hate episode of the Mariners fucking offense. As a former college pitcher, what I would do to my offense, and then I'm not allowed. Then I won't be putting on this headset anymore.
Yeah, you'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, they only mustered 7 hits in Bryce Miller's start on Monday.
I mean, the sad thing is 7 hits is a lot for them.
It is.
Hey, Mom, look, we're on TV.
I mean, hold on. You want me to read the lineup of the game today? Like, who was hitting everywhere?
Of today's game?
Well, not today. Monday.
Sure.
Luke Raley led off. He was playing first base. For some reason. Julio hit second, and he was playing center. He had no hits.
Dog, I'm looking at it.
Cal Raleigh hit third.
They don't have a single guy above a 750 OPS.
Oh yeah, no,
a 750.
We've covered how god awful this offense is. After that, Randy. Then Jorge Polanco.
A 750.
Justin Turner, 0 on Monday. Josh Rojas, who led the team in hits with 2. Dom Canzone, who drew a walk, but otherwise 0 for 2. And then
they had
Leo Rivas, whoever the hell that is.
I don't know if they had any errors that game.
I mean,
But
they had to have.
If we're just looking at hits and walks, they had 8 guys touch a base.
Yep.
Holy shit, man.
You imagine the despair Bryce Miller must, like, all of these starters must go through, knowing they have to essentially be perfect for this team to win a game.
Yeah. Like like Logan Gilbert this year might be the first pitcher ever to pitch a perfect game and still lose the game somehow. It's literally
the Mariners
impossible
would
to
find
happen.
a way to lose that
It's
game.
literally impossible to happen. But somehow they would lose that game. He'd go 9 innings perfect, and then the 10th inning would roll around, they'd lose in extras, and it'd be like, Logan Gilbert literally threw a fucking perfect game.
So the run wouldn't be earned. So technically,
you can't even if they get on with an error, it's still you ruin the perfect
ghost
game.
runner, the ghost runner.
Oh, you're right.
The run wouldn't be earned, even if he pitched into the 10th. I mean, they'd have to find he'd have to steal third and then steal home. But I mean, with this team, I wouldn't rule it out.
No, is that considered a perfect game? I don't because a perfect game is no hits, no walks, no errors. There's no hits, no walks, no errors there.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a run. Nowhere in the definition of a perfect game does it say no runs.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, Logan Gilbert might be the first player ever to pitch a perfect game and lose in extras.
You know, already the way that the runner gets picked off second for the Mariners in the top of the inning would be the dumbest thing ever.
Oh yeah,
and they'd be like, "Hey, look, Logan, can you go keep this thing rolling?
Another perfect inning, please."
He could throw an immaculate inning and still somehow lose that game.
Yep. God. Okay. Now with that, I guess we'll get into. Well, I'll get into mostly my hots. You don't. You're not. You're allowed to. You're allowed to.
I am allowed to.
On shitty teams only. Shitty teams that are not making the playoffs.
I have one already.
You can go ahead. Go ahead and rip it.
Brent Rooker.
Ooh, that's a good one.
He hit his 31st home run this year, which is a career high. Has he been tearing the cover off the ball in the past month? Technically, no. However, he's on a shitty team, so who really cares?
You didn't really have that much of a. You weren't allowed to pick from a lot of. I mean, he's still got over his last 7 games. He's still got over a 930. He's got over a 940 OPS. Over his last 15 games, he's still got a 8 something OPS. So it's like, all right, yeah, he's still doing it.
Yes.
Yeah. So Brent Rooker, good one.
Brent Rooker. I mean, some of these guys are from really shitty teams. I'm just going to go with the guy who's 4th on the list because, I mean, if he gets hurt, who really fucking cares? Tyler Stevenson over his last 7 has one home run.
You fuck. But all right.
He has. Who fucking cares? If he gets hurt, no one cares.
I mean, I care. That's he cares. I'm sure the Reds care. And Brennan has ghosts.
That was a lightning strike, right by my house.
Nice.
Okay.
Cool. If
Cool.
Brennan gets struck by lightning, we're throwing a party, by the way, just so everyone knows.
I could have put someone really funny on this and just been like, you know what, Andrew Benintendi. Who fucking cares?
That's a good one. In fact,
He's 13th on the list.
You're getting Andrew Benintendi. That's who you're getting.
All right,
Andrew
Benintendi.
Yeah. And Andrew Benintendi.
Good for you, Andrew.
What's he rip off
over
some
the
of
last
stats.
7 days? He's hitting 278 with 2 home runs, which is apparently good for the White Sox.
That might be their best hitter. So
he probably is,
especially considering who's on my not list. So now
because isn't Lou Bob still in a coma?
Yeah. Yes. Now with my hot list, because I'm allowed to have a hot list.
Yes.
Jock Laycock Peterson. Since August 1st, he's got a 295 batting average, 469 OPS or 469 on base percentage, and a 623 slug, which puts him at a 1.092 OPS since August 1st. The Diamondbacks have mastered him only hitting against righties. Fucking killed it. After that, mine was also Tyler Stevenson. I actually like this because I think Tyler Stevenson's a good catcher, and
No, I
had
do
him,
too.
and I like because he was injured for like most of this year and all of last year basically. 329, 402, 634 for a 1.036 OPS since August 1st. And then the last one, just because he's a Met and I like to piss off Brennan. Francisco Lindor, since August 1st, has 1.6 WAR, 333, 374 for with a 565 slug, which would put him at oh my god, I am going to kill my mother if she calls me another time. I'm not going to do that. That's not true. She just keeps calling me. And nobody's hurt. It's just I told her that the bar results come out August 7th, and she was like, "That's early?" And I was like, "Yeah, considering that they said it was supposed to be August 5th or October 15th. I meant to say October is what I meant to say.
Yes.
I wish it was August 7th because then I would already know." 1.01.
We both already know, probably.
Yep. That puts Francisco Lindor at a 1.014 OPS for the month of August, and he very well could win the MVP this year. It's going to be tough to unseed Shohei just because of name alone, but by numbers, it's very close. Very, very close.
You could argue it.
Yep. After that, I got finally, I feel like I've been waiting to put this guy on the hot list since he came into the MLB. O'Neal Cruz. 384, 449, 547 slug over his last since August 1st. And that puts him at a 995 OPS. Fucking finally. The guy has literally the fastest bat speed in the MLB. Yeah. Over Giancarlo Stanton, except for that's because Giancarlo Stanton apparently doesn't qualify. But among qualified batters, it's O'Neal Cruz is the fastest bat speed in baseball. So he was the king of, he was like the Matt Chapman, where it was like, okay, all the outer lying numbers say this guy should be a superstar. But instead, he's hitting 115-mile-an-hour balls that are ground balls between between first and second base. And you're like, how about that? Put it in the air.
How about some launch angle, fella?
Then I got, for pitchers on my hot list, Ryan Nelson over since July 1st. 1.8 WAR with a 2.76 ERA, which nice for the Diamondbacks surging now towards the playoffs. If they fuck around and do it again this year, I'm gonna be pissed. I'll lose it because I'm gonna be pissed because every single fucking team like the Cardinals that wants to spend no money and deal with being just meh and slide into the playoffs is just gonna continue to do what they do.
Yes.
And then a Brave just to piss off Brennan again. Raisel Iglesias over since July 1st, 1.1 WAR, a 0 ERA with 23 1/3 innings pitched. I think that's well deserved.
Sure.
All right, you got some knots for me?
Some knots? Well, aside from the fact that I put the entire Phillies offense on it last time, I can't really do that again. That would be a little improper of me. So
you're gonna put the Mariners offense on there.
Well, that one's almost too obvious. I'm pretty sure they've been on that since the beginning of the season.
They're in Antarctica cold.
Have they ever even been hot? Let's be real.
No, not for a game.
No, because they're thinking, if we reach base 54% of the time.
If they don't even if they reach base 54% of the time, that'd be great.
They'd probably celebrate that. You know what?
They're more like we're gonna score runs in 54% of our games.
Yeah. Since this doesn't really technically. People haven't gotten hurt on my not list. So I'm gonna go Stephen Kwan, who is cooled off tremendously. I mean, just like real ugly in terms of just about everything.
What do the numbers look like?
So over his last 7, Stephen Kwan is hitting 172.
Yeah.
For a guy who's like a pure contact hitter, whose power numbers were surprising this year. And
not only was the power number surprising, it was the reason why the Indians were the Indians. Oh no, I'm canceled. Guardians.
Yes.
The Guardians were good this year was because they had a surprise of just power from Stephen Kwan, Bo Naylor, and I mean, Ramirez isn't exactly, that one's not surprising, but like minus him,
one's not surprising.
Minus him, it was like, who else are we scared of in this lineup? And apparently to begin the season, it was Stephen Kwan. But
Yes.
yeah, Stephen Kwan over his last 30 games, 197, 288, 299. Yikes. That's just over a 500 OPS.
Yeah.
In his last 30. That's a
and
fair cold.
The guy had like a 600 slug for part of this season.
The first half of the season, basically.
Yeah.
While you pull up your next knot, I'll just go through mine so you can find one real quick.
I mean, I have one, but he's been on it so often that it really doesn't make like it would be Adelise because he's still there.
He's Caraxes in Harrenhal right now. Like he's
He's literally, dude, over his last 7 days, 174. It's like he just still hasn't figured it out.
And it looked like he figured it out. I mean, there was a bit where it was like 2 weeks ago. He was on it. Like
maybe he needs to go jump rope again.
In fact, I put him on my hot list. In fact, I know I put him on the hot list because it was right after the jump roping incident. Yeah, because over his last, I mean, as bad as he's been over that last basically 15 games, his last 30 games, he still has a 265 for a 730 OPS. So, like, that just shows over his last 15 how much he's pulled that down. Because I remember his last 15 before that, he was above, like, a 900 OPS.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Conforto has a worse batting average over his last 7. He has a 130, which is, like... I mean, and the thing is, I don't even know if Conforto is, like, really, like...
Yeah, it's not a...
It's not someone that draws your attention. It's like the fact that Adolis Garcia is one of the worst qualified hitters in Major League Baseball right now is just...
It's shocking because last year he had a breakout season. I mean, his last season was the reason we had to deal with his ass last year in the arbitration competition, or this year.
So,
if it wasn't for that last year, he would not have been our number one guy, guaranteed.
No, not even close.
All right. After that, I got Logan O'Hoppe.
Yeah.
Logan O'Hoppe over his basically since August 1st, 110, 180, 195 for a 375 OPS.
Mm-hmm.
I understand he's a catcher and you're defense first, but a 375 OPS?
Well, he's also essentially been the only piece for the Angels offense.
That's, yeah. And, I mean, yeah. Just
bad. And that's not much, but...
I just realized all my not list guys for my hitters are all on shitty teams. After that, I got Ryan McMahon.
Well, it's a likely place for them to be.
True, but like these are names that like Logan O'Hoppe was supposed to be a really good player. Last year he had a great season. Ryan McMahon has consistently been pretty damn good. And right now he's got, since August 1st, 159, 247, 232 for a 479 slug. In fucking Coors, I think you could throw the ball and get over a 479 OPS there.
You probably could.
Then I got Lou Bob, who 227, 244, 318 with a 563 OPS since August 1st. Another one, Caraxes at Harrenhal. And in fact, actually, that might be the most Caraxes at Harrenhal ever because he's this killer on this lineup that's just the White Sox. Like,
can you get me the fuck out of here, please?
Exactly. He's just sitting. It's like that video of the dog with the dog gate, and he's just like, wait, letting the gate go by, hitting the gate, letting the gate go by, hitting the gate. That's Lou Bob in fucking Chicago right now, just like, please get me out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Do you got any more knots for hitters?
Nah, I mean, I can put Zach Neto up there, but like, because Zach Neto was hitting the ball well, but he's turned it around.
He's cooled off, yep.
Like, in the wrong direction, not turned it around in a good direction. He's been bad since. And it's like, I do genuinely like Zach Neto as a player. I think he's a good 2020. Player. But he isn't really showing that he's a good player right now.
Yeah, yep. That's why it's our not list. We don't put the guys who we know are not most of the time, unless it's Taijuan Walker and you just want to be you.
Taijuan Walker could have been on the not list the entire fucking season.
That's true.
He's probably got a 7 ERA at this point.
I don't know what it is, but it's bad.
You know what? Let's look it up. Yeah, you keep going. I'm gonna look up what Taijuan Walker's ERA is.
All right, so Since July 1st, Craig fucking Kimbrell. By God, stop letting him close baseball games.
Just
Never
stop
again.
letting him pitch in general.
Yeah. He's got a negative .5 WAR since July 1st and a 6.23 ERA since then. Go ahead, rip it.
6.50.
Hey, worse than Craig Kimbrell, shockingly.
I mean, we went over his Savant last time, but
yeah,
I think it got worse.
That Savant was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
I genuinely think it got worse. Look it up.
I don't think it can get worse than it fucking was.
I think it did. I genuinely think it did.
No, that's as bad as I remembered it.
His expected ERA is in the second percentile, expected batting average in the fourth, average exit velocity in the first. Dude, he went 6 innings. He got two whiffs in 6 innings pitched, and he didn't strike a single hitter out. There's no strikeouts. 13 hits.
We're gonna now feature him on a segment called the No Strikeouts. says no to strikeouts.
Say no to strikeouts. I mean, he says no to velocity. He says no to strikeouts. He says no to ground balls. He says no to everything. It's like, what's the only hardest hit? What's the only thing he says? Yeah,
the only thing he says yes to is earned runs. He says yes to earned runs.
Like, what's the hardest hit ball ever at Citizens Bank Park? Likely whatever Taijuan Walker's throwing.
Yeah.
It's like the answer should be anything that Ryan Howard hit from 2005 on. But now it's like, literally whenever Taijuan Walker's on the mound, that's going to be the hardest hit ball in Citizens Bank Park history.
Yeah.
His average exit velocity is 91.6 miles an hour.
That's hard. That's a hard hit ball.
Everything he gives up is hard hit. You're just like, damn, he crushed that. Damn, he crushed that too. Damn, he crushed that.
Yikes. I hate that because I like Taijuan Walker as a person, but man,
such a nice guy. But it's like, why?
It's been a rough time.
Terrible at baseball.
It's been rough. It's been really bad. After that, after I had Craig Kimbrell, I got 2 hate ones for me. You know I had to do it.
Pure hate ones. Are these Cardinals pitchers?
Of course they are.
Yeah,
of course they are. Kyle fucking Gibson, since July 1st, 5.94 ERA.
Ooh, that's real bad.
Yeah. And this one isn't as much of a hate one. I'm not going to say because I don't hate this guy. This is more of I'm hoping to put him on this list, and I put him on this list before the game today, and he did have a good start today. So maybe I fixed something. I'm hoping. Sonny Gray, 5.83 ERA since July 1st.
Yeah, he's been struggling.
Yeah. Brendan's going to die over there.
I might.
I hope you know that if you do die, the group chat we're gonna make memes of you. That's all we're gonna do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah. I feel like if anybody in our group chat dies, the first thing that's gonna happen is a meme. Like, it's just gonna be memes. Like, first it's gonna be Cam with the fucking WWE fucking fireworks in the background. Yeah. And it's gonna be like, I'm actually at a funeral right now, and then
it's gonna be again.
Yeah, it's gonna be a Chris, and then Chris is gonna go piss on his grave, and I'm gonna like, God damn, guys, Jesus,
he isn't even buried yet. Fuck.
It'd be like piss in the coffin, and I'm like, oh my God, you guys are foul.
Like, that's something you would think of with Build with the third, but
and then meanwhile, everyone in the group chat would also be at the funeral crying as we're sending that to each other. Like, we would literally, and it would be genuine tears, or we'd be so sad.
And
but
it's just like,
also just gonna send the wildest shit possible.
Yeah. Who's most likely to die now? Because right now, the odds have to be heavily in my favor because this storm is much more.
I was gonna say me because I'm the oldest.
Yeah, but you don't have a Oh man, this is gonna be loud. Yeah.
Actually, Brendan just has really bad. Brendan just has really bad gas. That's why it's thunderstorming right now.
Oh yeah.
There's no thunder going on. He's just shitting himself on camera.
God, that would be absurd. Fuck.
You're just like, God damn.
Can you fucking imagine? That would be
that
the
was
most embarrassing thing ever. I think I'd never come back on this again.
if I ripped ass on, I'd do it. If I ripped ass on camera, that would be the clip for the episode,
No,
and that
I'm
would go
not
on
saying
Instagram.
I am not saying that ripping ass. I'm referring to fully shitting
Oh,
yourself.
yeah. If I actually shit myself on camera, that won't be my last episode, but I'm telling you, it's getting cut out of the episode. It's never being spoken about ever between me and you ever again. Well, not
You're
on
gonna
live on
make me
air.
sign a fucking NDA.
Well,
Get
we'll
in
talk.
the mail.
We'll talk about it between each other, and you can give me as much shit as possible. On the podcast, it's never coming up.
God, I hope
Unless-
that's the clip. I hope that's the clip.
I can't. That is not going to be the clip. I'm not letting that be the clip.
I wish it was. I would.
This is why I'm in charge of. That's why I'm in charge of the Riverside account. Shout out Riverside, our first sponsor. They're not our sponsor. Sponsor us, please.
Please.
If you sponsor us, I'll make it the clip. I said it.
Gauntlet's been thrown down.
Yep. You give us a sponsorship, which better include some money. We're not just going to shout you out for no reason, even though we just did.
Scroll up into the you see me come in as like corporate counsel for Riverside, and your worst nightmare of all time is just me putting on the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh no.
I'll do it myself.
All right. Well, that's enough of an episode. Follow us on Twitter at the BB Diaries. Say no to walks on Twitter. Say no to walks on Twitter. Instagram at the Baseball Diaries. Spotify at the Baseball Diaries. Instagram at the Baseball Diaries. No. YouTube at the Baseball Diaries Pod. Like, subscribe, share, do everything. You
just had an aneurysm. It's fine.
Do the things that are good for our podcast because we need followers, even though we have like none. We have 2, I think, maybe. We have like 3.
We're trying.
We're the number 1 National League Baseball podcast in the world.
That is true.
We might be the first and only, but that means we're number 1. If you ain't first, you're fucking last.
Shout out Ricky Bobby.